Number 1. The Interrogation, The Dark Knight.
You wanted me. Here I am.
Whatever the medium, Batman and the Joker's dynamic is the stuff of legend. This hero and villain are so well defined that you just need to put them in a room together and see what happens, which is exactly what Christopher Nolan does here. With Harvey Dent missing, Batman interrogates the Joker, although it could be seen as the other way around. While they may be polar opposites on the surface, the Joker views Batman as his kindred spirit, two forces cut from the same cloth that can't exist without the other. The Joker's goal is to bring Batman down to his level.
I have one rule.
Oh, then that's the rule you'll have to break to know the truth.
Which is?
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. And tonight, you're gonna break your one rule.
While Batman doesn't break his one rule by taking Joker's life, his spirit is broken as this dark night turns to dawn.
I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you?
Number 2. I Drink Your Milkshake, There Will Be Blood.
Drainage! Drainage, Eli, you boy.
After stripping Eli of his dignity and faith, Daniel Plainview reveals that he's also drained the land up for sale of its oil. Breaking down, Eli pleads with Daniel to have mercy. And how does the oil man respond? He makes fun of him like a schoolyard bully, boasting about how he slurped up Eli's milkshake.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up!
Daniel isn't content with seeing Eli squirm. He paints his bowling alley red with Eli's head. This movie isn't called There Will Be Blood just because of its greed and capitalism themes. Daniel Day-Lewis's Oscar-winning performance, coupled with Paul Thomas Anderson's commanding dialogue, results in a finale that's haunting, darkly humorous, and completely bonkers. It's capped up with some of the most appropriate last lines in any motion picture.
Mr. Daniel?
I'm finished.
Number 3. The Battle of Helm's Deep, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. The Lord of the Rings sets a new gold standard for epic set pieces, and the Battle of Helm's Deep may be the most ambitious action sequence Peter Jackson ever pulled off. This is a textbook example of how to shoot a giant battle at night. Instead of shrouding the action in darkness, Helm's Deep is draped in atmospheric blue. The audience never has trouble making out the imagery, and this is definitely a battle where you want to see everything. The remarkable stunt work and sheer scale of the battle aside, it's our emotional investment that makes the sequence gripping. Gandalf manages to top his standoff against the Balrog from the first film as he rides in with reinforcements, ushering in a bright new day for our heroes. Number 4. The Hallway Fight, Inception. Inception stimulates the mind in more ways than one. The ending still has us lying awake at night, wondering if the top ever fell over. When the film isn't asking us philosophical questions, its technical wizardry is leaving us in total disbelief. This is a film where you're constantly asking, how did they do that? In the case of the spinning hallway fight, the answer surprisingly isn't CGI. Turning to practical effects, the filmmakers constructed a rotating set to make the zero-gravity showdown a reality. This masterclass of special effects, choreography, and cinematography accumulates to an image that will forever stick in your head. It just goes to show that if you can dream it, you can do it, at least on the silver screen.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Number 5. The Sunken Place, Get Out.
How do you feel now?
I can't move.
You can't move.
From the moment Chris arrives at his girlfriend's parents' house, something is clearly amiss. Matters go from unsettling to soul-crushing as Chris sits down to a hypnotherapy session with Missy. The family matriarch literally gets inside his head as she stirs her tea, which only grows more nerve-wracking as the scene plays out.
Now, sink into the floor.
Wait.
Sink.
Thinking of his late mother, Chris becomes paralyzed with fear, unable to wipe the tears flooding from his wide eyes. Missy submerges Chris into a dark limbo where nobody can hear his cries for help. Not only is this a harrowing image, but it ingeniously encompasses the film's themes of marginalization and the system that's been keeping people of color down. Jordan Peele gets all of this across through unforgettable visuals alone. Number 6. The Crazy 88. Kill Bill Volume 1.
You didn't think it was gonna be that easy, did you? You know, for a second there? Yeah, I kinda did.
Quentin Tarantino is frequently praised for his inventive use of dialogue, but his movies are driven just as much by visual storytelling. From a directorial standpoint, The Bride's showdown with the Crazy 88 just might be Tarantino's masterpiece. The choreography, the camera angles, the stunt work, the sound design, the unbelievable amount of bloodshed, it all builds to a tour de force of action. Tarantino pays homage to a variety of different styles and genres, ranging from martial arts to grindhouse. At the same time, the sequence is pure Tarantino, and no other director, living or dead, could conceivably bring it to the silver screen. In typical Tarantino fashion, the music selections are also oddly perfect for this bombastic setup. Number 7. The Pale Man, Pan's Labyrinth. The designs for most modern movie monsters tread on familiar territory. There isn't another monster in cinema that looks quite like the Pale Man, however. What with his sagging skin, slender body, and unique eye placement. Even when completely frozen, he can overwhelm anyone with dread. Akin to the Garden of Eden, naive Ophelia goes against the fawn's warning and eats 2 grapes, waking the creature up. Sticking a pair of eyes in his palms, the Pale Man consumes 2 fairies. And if that wasn't enough nightmare fuel for one lifetime, he proceeds to pursue Ophelia, who barely escapes with her last inch of magic chalk. Everything about this scene, from the atmosphere to pacing and to production values, puts the dark in dark fantasy. Number 8. Lemon Quaaludes, The Wolf of Wall Street. Even with Jonah Hill in a supporting role, we didn't expect to laugh as hard as we did throughout The Wolf of Wall Street. The funniest sequence comes when the lemon Quaaludes kick in, hindering Jordan Belfort's speech, body, and consciousness.
Pow! I mean, I had skipped the tingle phase and went straight to the drool phase.
Merely going down the stairs and opening the car door becomes an arduous journey for Belfort during the cerebral palsy phase, as he puts it. His troubles aren't over when he gets home, as Jordan needs to pry an intoxicated Donnie off the phone. The distraught Donnie nearly chokes on deli meat in the process, but Jordan snaps into action thanks to his own brand of spinach. A Lamborghini might have been destroyed, but it was worth it for this priceless bit of comedic gold. Number 9. Hello Stranger, Moonlight.
Chiron. What's up, man? It's Kevin.
Now an adult drug dealer, Chiron feels trapped in a life that he never wanted. Chiron has spent years hiding his true self from the rest of the world. During his youth, however, he opened himself up to Kevin, a friend, and much more. When Chiron reunites with Kevin at a diner, neither is sure what to expect.
Hey, man. How you doing tonight? What can I get you? Chiron?
Chiron is especially confused as to why Kevin called him out of the blue. As it turns out, he was inspired after hearing the song Hello Stranger. Allowing the music to do all the talking, Kevin lets Chiron know what's in his heart. The song also speaks to Chiron on a nostalgic and romantic level, showing him that he doesn't need to go through life alone anymore. Number 10. Call It, No Country for Old Men. The scariest characters can strike fear with even the simplest of gestures. A coin toss doesn't sound especially intense, but when the coin belongs to Anton Chigurh, it's the most frightening thing possible. After a gas station clerk asks Chigurh one too many questions, his fate boils down to heads or tails.
Call it.
Alfred Hitchcock firmly believed that when a bomb suddenly goes off in a movie, it's a surprise. When the audience knows that the bomb is there, though, it's true suspense. Chigurh is a ticking time bomb, and the clerk has no idea just how close he comes to detonating him. But we do.
Well done. Don't put it in your pocket, sir. Don't put it in your pocket. It's your like a quarter.
Thankfully, the clerk chooses wisely, and Chigurh exits peacefully, leaving us to catch our breath.